Hi, guys. This is Doug Jessop with Family Heritage Stories. And with me today, a special person, not just because his name is Doug, okay, but his name is Doug Crockett. And now, Doug, you are with an interesting company, and you and I met at Ridge Tech. So, what's your company called?
It's called Your Legacy Story. I've wanted to do this for years, and I'm happy to move forward, and I'm thrilled that I get to work with a guy named Doug. That's
Well,
probably the
I
best
know.
thing. Yeah.
Well, here's the interesting part. Okay, I interviewed you at Roots Tech last year.
Yes.
And the cool thing is that you do something kind of similar to what we used to do.
Mm.
I mean, we'll do some private interviews here and there,
Yeah.
but quite honestly, I want to start sending people more to you.
Okay.
And so, why did you start this company?
This is an excellent question. Really, the biggest thing was that I was, like a lot of people in the corporate world, doing that for a long time, many years, and it wasn't filling my bucket anymore. I wasn't wanting to do that anymore. Things were changing. What am I going to do? How am I going to change this all up? And so I started getting some thoughts and impressions in my mind through my family, also about I really enjoy people's stories, not just the I did this and I did that, but rather why? What's all involved? How come you're where you are and you're doing what you're doing? I loved it so much that I started my own little channel on YouTube just called Miracles When Heaven Touches Earth. I said, I want to do that just on my own labor of love. So I went out and talked to about 50 different people about their own miracles of their lives. And I enjoyed it so much that I said, I really wish I could do this like full time and start talking about people's legacies, about their stories, because as you and I both know, everyone's got a story.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everyone has a story. And the way we said, everyone has a story. Stories have power, they help us understand each other.
That's right.
So, just so you know, the idea is that, we have ideas and examples of stories for you to pass down. Well, if you need some help, I can help you, but this is the guy I really want you to go to. Okay. So, Doug, now you've done a lot of different interviews with people
Mhm.
and they get a copy to keep and all that. I mean, that's kind of the whole legacy.
That's right.
Um, are there any particular ones that just kind of stand out?
Absolutely. The one that I love to tell, and it's there's something in that reality time when you can talk together and then those thoughts come up and these stories come up. The one that I absolutely loved was at Roots Tech, we had a daughter came up and said to me, my parents are 90 years old. I've got to get their story. Can you come to Idaho and do that? So I did. So I went to Idaho and interviewed these people, and the best story was the father. And he tells this story. When he was young, this is World War II is beginning, and he's 6 or 7 years old. Him and his friends are all milling around having a good time. One of his friends has a calf that's his own calf. And so they decided that we want to ride that calf.
Oh, dear.
So they decided to get on the calf. Well, they got it bridled and got it working. And they started doing all this stuff. The calf wouldn't move. And so as they're thinking about it, and this is the best part, 6 and 7 year olds had brilliant ideas, as you can imagine. And so they decided that what we're going to do is, well, they said, do any of you have your own spurs? Do you have your spurs? Do you have any spurs? No, no, I don't have any spurs. They got to this one other kid and he says, well, my dad's got some nails in the shed and so we can use that. And so they did. They drove the nails through their boots. And he even said, we were so proud of ourselves. We just look at what we've created, our own spurs. Then the argument or discussion was amongst the kids, okay, who's going to go first? I want to go first. No, I want to go first. No, I want to go first. Finally, the kid whose calf it was, he says, it's my calf. I'm going to go first. So he said, okay, you can go first. He gets on that calf. He's got the bridle. He's trying to get it to move. And he takes his foot and just kicks that calf and drives that nail straight into the calf. The calf goes straight in the air. The kid smacks his head on a branch hanging over a tree in this pasture where they were, gives him a concussion. He hits the ground, knocks the wind out of him. So he's down there like that. All the friends are looking at him like, are you dead? And so as they're thinking it all through and they're looking at him, and then finally the kid just goes, your turn. So I love getting those kind of stories, and they come on the fly because people say, oh yeah, when I was in high school or as a kid or whenever it was, this thing happened to me. And you want to capture those moments when the energy is there. That's a big key to it.
Well, I've done some interviews with some older folks and then they've passed. And
Yeah.
now you have that record of their story and their voice and their words, you know,
Right.
and it's priceless. It really is.
Absolutely.
You know, now granted, I don't think people need to wait till they're 100 years old or 90 something, but
No,
who's a good candidate to have an interview with you, Doug?
that's an excellent question. Everyone has a story to tell. A lot of people get nervous about telling it because they're all, oh, I don't know what to say or how I'm going to say it. But the truth is, everyone's got a story to tell at every facet of your life. People have said to me too, when's the right time to do it? Today. That's a good time to do it. Um, you have the experiences when you're younger and when you're middle and then later on, but you want to capture all those pieces. And it can be like, one idea is in your wedding, not just wedding picture videos, but let's do a dialogue about how you met. What is your love story? That's a really good example. Another one is for missionaries, they come back from their missions, they get 10 minutes in church to tell their story. That's not near long enough. So we want to do one where we say, take an hour, tell me what happened to you. Let's put your pictures together, do it that way. And then it can, military service is another great example. I've got some really good stories on that one. And then of course, all the way to a full-on documentary for whole life history. And that can go much longer. And so that way, you're right, we're capturing it so you can see their face, hear their voice, and see the emotions. And if you will, kind of feel their spirit and reconnect with them. Their stories are great, but really, I just want to hear your voice. I want to connect with you again. That's the best part.
So, how do people get a hold of you?
The best way to find us is at yourlegacystory.com, and you can contact me there. There's emails available that you can contact me. We connect with people. We come to you. All these interviews are done in your home. We want it to be personal for you. And so when people are watching this video, they're going, oh, I remember that front room. I remember that couch. I remember when this happened. I remember the kitchen area when I had breakfast every morning. Those kinds of experiences. So at yourlegacystory.com is the best way to find me. Easy to email, set up, you can set up opportunities to meet with you personally, schedule it so we can come see you. It's an easy process.
So, here's the thing, okay? You know, we do stories on television. He does house calls. Just saying, okay? I mean, just say it. With another entry to Family Heritage Stories and Doug Crockett, I'm Doug Jessop. We'll be right back.